baker's to buy a loaf of brown bread and 5 currant buns. Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail were good little rabbits. They went down the lane to gather blackberries for supper. But Peter, who was very naughty, hopped straight to Mr. McGregor's fine garden and squeezed under the locked gate. He ate some lettuce and beans and radishes. Then, feeling rather sick, he looked for some parsley. But whom should he meet but old Mr. McGregor? Mr. McGregor jumped up and ran after Peter, calling out, "Stop, thief!" Mr. McGregor does not look happy. He does not look nice. Peter was frightened. He ran all over the garden looking for the gate. He lost one of his shoes among the cabbages and the other shoe among the potatoes. Then Peter caught the buttons of his jacket in a gooseberry net. It was a blue jacket with big brass buttons, quite new. When some friendly sparrows heard Peter crying, they begged him to try to get away before Mr. McGregor caught him. Mr. McGregor was just about to pop a sieve over Peter's head when Peter wriggled out of his jacket and dashed away. He rushed into the tool shed and hid in a can. It would have been a good place to hide if there were not been so much water in it. Presently Peter sneezed, "Kerchoo!" and Mr. McGregor was after him again in no time. Up and down and all around the garden they ran. At last Mr. McGregor gave up, went back to his work. Peter saw a door in the wall and he was too fat to squeeze under it. He asked a mouse the way to the gate, but she had a large pea in her mouth and didn't answer. Soon Peter came to a pond where a pretty cat sat staring at some goldfish. He went on without speaking to her, for he had heard about the cats from his wise little cousin, Benjamin Bunny. Suddenly, quite close to him, he heard the scratch of Mr. McGregor's hoe. Peter hid under a bush, but as nothing happened, he came out, he climbed onto a big wheelbarrow. The first thing he saw was Mr. McGregor hoeing onions. Beyond him was the gate. Peter got down very quietly. He ran to the gate and squeezed under it. Then he ran as fast as he could into the woods. Mr. McGregor hung up Peter's jacket and shoes as a scarecrow to frighten the blackbirds. Peter never stopped running until he reached his home in the big fire tree. He was so tired that he flopped down on the soft grass and shut his eyes. His mother was busy cooking. She wondered what he had done with his clothes, for it was the second little jacket and pair of shoes he had lost in a week. Peter did not feel a bit well that evening. His mother put him to bed. She made some chamomile tea and gave a spoonful of it to Peter. But Flopsy, Mopsy, and Cottontail had bread and milk and fresh blackberries for supper. The end. Okay, guys, as promised, I promised you that I would sing you a little obnoxious song. And let me just light this. And this is a prayer for everybody. Everybody on Easter, whether you're celebrating Easter or Passover or both or neither, if you're having a health problem, God bless. And always say your prayers, and these are prayers for anybody who's dealing with a health problem. These are prayers for anybody who's lonely, spending time holidays by themselves, or missing their loved ones that used to be here. Maybe they're in heaven now, or maybe they just are 3,000 miles away. And if you can't be with them in physical, you could be with them in your heart and in your mind, okay? They're always going to be with you in your heart, and they're always going to be with you in your mind. And you just say their name right now. Say the person who you're missing the most. And just remember, Jesus suffered and died, and God gave us His only Son so that we can live, and we could be kind to others, and we could try to heal the world. And God was very generous, and Jesus wants us to be good to each other. That's why He did all the things that He did and risked His life. But on Easter Sunday, He pushed away the stone. He was buried in a cave. He pushed away the stone, and He rose from the dead, just like God said He would. And He will live forever in everybody's heart. Okay, now my Easter bonnet song. Okay. In your Easter bonnet, with all the frills upon it, you'll be the grandest lady in the Easter parade. I'll be all in clover when they look you over. I'll be the proudest fella in the Easter parade. On the avenue, boop, boop, Fifth Avenue, boop, boop, The photographers will snap us and you'll find that you're in the retrograph. Oh, I could write a sonnet about your Easter bonnet and of the girl I'm taking to the Easter parade on the avenue, boop, boop, Fifth Avenue, boop, boop. The photographers will snap us and you'll find that you're in the retrograve or retrograph. Anyway, happy Easter, everybody. Namaste.